initiative taken by MSBT for online learning. This presentation is for Mechanical Engineering Group for the course 22306, Strength of Materials. Moment of inertia is the first topic of strength of materials with the course outcome number 1, compute MI of symmetric and asymmetric sections. Myself, Anil Deshmukh, lecturer in Applied Mechanics, Government Polytechnic, Nashik. Strength of materials deals with the various loading actions and the internal effects of these loading actions on the members parts of machine. Study of strength of materials is essential for the next course machine design practice offered in third year. Strength of materials require basic concepts learnt in applied mechanics such as conditions of equilibrium and locating centroid of the section. Moment of inertia, the first topic. First unit outcome of this topic is to calculate MI of the given standard shape. We will go through the concept of MI and you will have at the end some formulae to calculate MI of the standard sections. As per the concept map, this is the course outcome number 1 of moment of inertia, and we are starting from the first unit outcome, calculate MI of the given standard shape. Moment of inertia, it is a geometrical quantity. It is required for analysis and design of the components, parts of machine subjected to movements such as bending moment, twisting moment and buckling. The figure shows a member subjected to bending moment. Another figure shows a shaft subjected to twisting moment. Both these members require calculation of moment of inertia for their analysis and design. Definition: moment of inertia of an elemental area about the reference axis is the product of the elemental area and square of perpendicular distance of reference axis from elemental area. Moment of inertia is also known as second moment of area. Now concentrate on the figure. Figure shows a irregular area A, and within that area a small area, elemental area, is shown and named as dA. The perpendicular distance of reference axis x from the elemental area dA is shown as y, whereas perpendicular distance of reference axis y from the elemental area is shown as x. With this, I can find moment of inertia of this elemental area dA about reference axis x and reference axis y using Ix is equal to dA multiplied by perpendicular distance square, dA into y square, and Iy is equal to dA into x square, where Ix is moment of inertia about reference axis x and Iy is moment of inertia of this elemental area about reference axis y. Now if you want to calculate moment of inertia of this complete area about the reference axis, then you have to consider such elemental areas throughout the area. Find their perpendicular distances x and y from reference axis and then find their moment of inertia and add all them to find moment of inertia of complete area A. So Ix is given by summation of dA into y square, that is addition of all moment of inertia, and Iy is given by summation of dA into x square, where this Ix and Iy represent moment of inertia of complete area A. I is used for moment of inertia. SI unit of moment of inertia is meter to the power 4. Generally we use mm for dimensions, and if so, then unit of moment of inertia is mm to the power 4. You can just visualize here, unit of area is mm square and unit of distance is mm and square, so it comes out to mm to the power 4. From the basic principle now we will find mi of rectangle. The figure shows rectangle of width b and depth d. It shows horizontal x-axis and vertical y-axis passing through the centroid of rectangle. It also shows a rectangular elemental strip of width b and thickness dy. This thickness is elemental thickness, very small. The perpendicular distance of centroidal x-axis from the elemental strip is y. With this, Ix is given by summation of dA into y square. Now this summation can be carried out using integration dA into y square. So for this, Ix is equal to integral b into dy. This b into dy is the area dA of this elemental strip, b multiplied by dy, into y square, perpendicular distance from reference axis square. It shows lower limit and upper limit. This lower limit is for the position of this strip at the bottommost level. If the strip is moved here, this distance y, it will become minus d by 2. And the upper limit d by 2, if I draw this strip at the topmost level, then for that strip this y will become d by 2. So Ix is equal to minus d by 2 to d by 2, rearranging b into y square dy. So Ix is equal to, now integrating, b is constant, it is kept as it is. Integral of y square with respect to y, it is y cube, divided by the same power 3. Lower limit minus d by 2, upper limit d by 2. So Ix is equal to this b by 3 constant into bracket. In place of y you have to keep the upper limit, so it becomes d cube upon 8, minus you have to keep minus d by 2 in place of y, so minus minus plus d cube upon 8. So with this you get the formula for moment of inertia about x-axis. It is bd cube divided by 12. Similarly, if you consider this strip as vertical strip and carry out the same process, Iy is equal to db cube divided by 12. Similarly, mi of circular section about z-axis can be obtained from basic principle for the circle of diameter d and radius r. We can find moment of inertia from basic principle considering a elemental strip at distance r and thickness dr, carrying out the same procedure. Ix is equal to summation integral dA into r square. So these are the similar steps, and you get the final as moment of inertia about z-axis, which is perpendicular to plane of circle, is equal to pi d to the power 4 divided by 32. Mi of some symmetrical sections. So I have shown an symmetrical I section, symmetrical hollow rectangular section, and symmetrical channel section. This channel section is symmetrical about x-axis only, whereas hollow rectangular section and I section, they are symmetrical about both x and y axis. So for these three sections, Ix is given by BD cube minus BD cube divided by 12, where B and D, these capital letters, these dimensions are the external dimensions for all the three cases, minus small bd are the internal hollow rectangle dimensions. B by 2 plus B by 2, it will be B, and this will be D. So for all these three figures, you can directly calculate moment of inertia using this formula. Similarly, you can calculate moment of inertia about y-axis for the hollow rectangular section using the similar formula, dB cube minus dB cube divided by 12. External rectangle moment of inertia minus internal rectangle hollow portion moment of inertia. For I section, you cannot use this formula, this type. Here you have to use Iy is equal to summation of dB cube divided by 12 of all three rectangles. You can use this formula because centroid of lower rectangle, centroid of middle rectangle, and centroid of top rectangle, and centroid of complete I section, all the four centroids lie on one on the same vertical axis, y-axis. Hence you can use this formula, where this dB are the dimensions of the rectangles. This is D, this is B. For this rectangle, this is D, this one is B. For the lower rectangle, this is D, and this one is B. For this, as the section is not symmetrical about y-axis, there is no ready-made formula for Iy of channel section. Example, a simple example is given. Rectangle with 230 mm width and 400 mm depth, and you have to find moment of inertia about centroidal x-axis and centroidal y-axis. So Ix, as we have seen just now, Ix is equal to BD cube upon 12. Just put the values B, D, you get Ix is equal to 1.23 into 10 to the power 9 mm to the power 4, and Iy is equal to dB cube divided by 12. So D is 400, B is 230. So after calculation, it comes out to 0.405 into 10 to the power 9 mm to the power 4. So this presentation includes formulae for some symmetrical sections. Practice sheet is attached with, depending on these formulas, solve the problems. Next presentation includes two theorems of MI and formulae for MI of remaining standard basic sections. Thanks, and be prepared for the quiz.